up, y'all? It's your girl, El Rochelle, the Hardwood Diva, coming to you today, Monday, November 11th, for our NBA games to watch. But since today is Veterans, the first thing I want to do is send a special shout out to all of our veterans. Thank you so much for your service. I truly appreciate all that you do and all that you've done for others. Want to give a special shout out to not only my husband, Mr. Sean Olayele, for all that he's done for others, but also to family members, a couple of my cousins that are in the Marines, my uncle that was in the Navy. Thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate all that you've done. So first up for tonight's games, 4 p.m. Both of these games tonight are going to be on League Pass. So again, if you don't have League Pass, kind of watch out for highlights or see if you can find it on the internet. I'm not going to tell you how to do that because we don't endorse illegally doing anything. But if you find it, you know, you tell other folks about it. So first up, the 4 p.m. game, Memphis Grizzlies versus the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers still have not lost so far this season. They are a good team. They've been a good team for the last couple of years, but this is the first year where I really, really think they've got a deep bench. They've always had the big men that are able to go up against teams like Miami and, in a sense, teams like the New York Knicks. Now probably the Brooklyn Nets, but I definitely think this team has a very, very good chance of winning it all this year. I like what I see, and it doesn't just have to do with them being 7-0, because that doesn't really mean anything this early in the season. I just think that they have the best opportunity to do well going forward and just have the opportunity for longevity throughout the season. Again, I don't pick these winners for games. I just let you know these are games that I think you should watch out for. You let me know what you think. If you see any other games, you know, post comments down below. Let us know what you think, and we will talk about it. The second game, 7:30 p.m., Minnesota versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, the Timberwolves are pretty good. Timberwolves, when they play well, they're really well. Kevin Love is having a beast of a season right now, and I really like what I see. I've liked Kevin Love. I wasn't huge on him when he came out of UCLA because he was a little chunky coming out. Let's be real. Like, ASU used to have like signs calling him a Twinkie, and it was funny. But he's definitely slimmed down, he's bulked up, and I see a much more effective Kevin Love in the NBA. So I like that, and I'm liking what I've seen from them. The Clippers are being the Clippers. They have an on day, they have an off day. It's going to take some time for that second unit to gel, and it's really going to take some time for them to really come under the direction of Doc Rivers. But a Doc Rivers-led team, I do believe, will go far into the playoffs because he does not like subpar play, and he will let you know. So I'm thinking we're going to get something pretty good out of them. So tomorrow, Tuesday, November 12th, first game is going to be on League Pass. It's Milwaukee versus Miami. I've always liked watching Milwaukee in the playoffs. They're, you know, kind of an exciting younger team. They kind of fly around the ball. A lot of just jacking shots up from time to time. Everybody seems to do that on their team. So I like watching them. Miami's kind of like, you know, whatever right now. I believe they're 4-3. Lost to Boston the other day on a last-second shot. So this is going to be pretty interesting, personally. I think this will be a cool game to watch on NBA TV at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. All these are Pacific time, by the way. We've got Detroit Pistons versus the Golden State Warriors. A couple of younger teams. Just having fun, flying around the ball, getting shots up, playing a little bit of defense. So I just think it's one of those up-and-comers kind of games that we'll get to see. So I'm going to watch this one, and you let me know what you think. This one will be on NBA TV, so if you've got NBA TV, go ahead and jump over to that. Wednesday, November 13th, first games on League Pass, 4 p.m., Houston Rockets versus Philadelphia 76ers. Houston, again, a team that's kind of having to figure out these new pieces, putting them together, how they're going to work. Dwight still needs to evolve as a player. He can be just as silly as he wants to be, but he definitely does need to be very focused when it comes to basketball on the court, and he needs to have that drive. That silly can't be on the court. Can't do that while you're playing basketball. You need to be demanding the ball, and you definitely need to be working on them free throws, because bruh, you're killing your team with that right now. do what you need to do. ESPN, 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday. Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, these are two teams that are supposed to be very, very, very good. Tops in the West. So, I want to see how they play against each other. Both of them are kind of regelling right now. Oklahoma City because they lost Russell Westbrook at the end of last season, and then the beginning of this season, he wasn't there for like the first week. So we're just going to kind of start seeing all these teams, Clippers gelling together. But these are teams I think in the end, when it comes time for playoffs, will definitely be there at the top for the West. So I want to see how they do. And apparently ESPN wants to see how they do as well. So watch that game, 7:30 p.m. Thursday, November 14th. Both of these games are on NBA TV, and I believe they're the only two games that are on that night. So clearly they're good games. Houston Rockets versus the New York Knicks. Knicks aren't doing so well. Carmelo says don't be worried, don't be concerned. It's a long season, all that stuff. I'm concerned, I'm worried, I need to see more. I do want to see how Houston, though, plays against a team like this and how Dwight does with his new team in New York. How that's going to just work out. He's going to be, in this media blitz. He personally didn't do so well when he went to Los Angeles and then when the Lakers went to Houston, he says he doesn't want to talk about it, but he talks a lot about it. So I'm not really sure that he don't want to talk about it. He likes saying stuff that he don't really mean personally. But I want to see how he evolves over this season. If he wants to get to that spot that he thinks he's at with his whole Superman and all of that, he needs to step his game up. In these types of games, even though it's not the best of teams right now, this is a stage where you need to really put on. In the Garden, you need to show up. So I want to see if he shows up. At 7:30 p.m., we've got Oklahoma City versus Golden State Warriors. This is a fun team to watch. Oklahoma City's not as young as they used to be, but this is the kind of team that they used to be. The Golden State Warriors are that team that are just like flying, very little defense, but they're going. They can jack shots up and get lots of points. So I want to see how they fare against an Oklahoma City. This could be a matchup we see in the playoffs. So I'd like to see how it is right now. See what they're doing at the beginning of the season. Friday, November 15th. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Like, these weekend games are kind of weak because it's still football season, so they're not putting all the really great games on the weekends like they usually do once football's over. So, Friday night, if you care to watch football, or care to watch basketball, 4:30 p.m. we've got Portland versus Boston. I'm actually really happy with what I'm seeing from Boston right now. I didn't expect, let's be honest, Boston's not great, but they're doing pretty good, and I like it. And I like seeing teams do pretty good when no one expected them to do well, and I definitely loved watching them beat Miami with that last-second shot, with Green jacking it up and LeBron in his face, and he still made it. That's awesome. I love seeing that type of stuff. So this should be a good game. Portland's got some young players. They're doing pretty well. Drafted really well, so I want to see how that one goes. 6 p.m., Brooklyn versus Phoenix. Like I said earlier, Phoenix is doing really well. Brooklyn's supposed to be better. We'll see how that works. They need to gel, of course, because it's too many new players on their team. But we'll see. We'll see. This is what this is all about, is watching some games, catching little glimpses of some stuff, seeing if it's any good, and seeing how it's going to play out in the rest of the year. Saturday, November 16th. First game's on League Pass. Friday's games, both of those are League Pass. 5 p.m. Saturday, Indiana versus Chicago. This is a game of two teams that will be in the playoffs, that will be much better, at least in the Chicago case, later on in the year. But I want to see how they fare right now with Indiana doing so well. And with Chicago just now coming back with Derrick Rose, kind of learning how to play with him again. This is going to be a very interesting game. And I don't care how bad Chicago has played so far. I think this is where one of those early tests. Are they able to get up for a team like Indiana? Because this, to me, is the tops of the East. Until Miami shows up, Indiana's the tops in the East. Indiana's the team that you need to watch for. So, going with this game. NBA TV, 7:30 p.m. Brooklyn Nets versus the Los Angeles Clippers. This is another one of those interesting games for Brooklyn that kind of show up. Are you going to be there? And for the Clippers, dude, Brooklyn's not doing so well right now. We need to see something from you. How are Doc's old players going to play versus him? This is what's so much fun about this game. Sucks that it's on a Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Folks be having stuff to do. But watch it, NBA TV. Let me know what you think. Sunday, November 17th. 10 a.m. Portland Trail Blazers versus the Toronto Raptors. And then at 6:30, Detroit versus LA. Both of these are on League Pass. I probably won't really watch either of them because it'll be football time. And I love football. And both of these games boring. But it's basketball. So I will definitely catch glimpses of them and watch out and let you know what I think. But like I said, weekend games right now are kind of So we'll watch them, we'll talk about them, we'll see what happens. Something fun may come up. But let me know what you think. I love y'all. Deuces.